the four types of thoughts you described, and the first one was the mechanical thought, right? When you get a repeat negative thinking, and that could lead to depression. But how do you arrest that, the repetitive negative thinking?
Yeah, I think it is only through awareness. You have to bring your awareness to it, because it is that you get sucked into that thought, you get sucked into the mind. So it is very difficult to tell depressed people. You have to bring awareness. That's why before it gets into the mechanicality, I have to nip it in the bud. That's what we say. But once it gets into that, the clinical depression state, we cannot do anything. Then it requires medical help. But there are people with relatively, everybody gets depressed off and on, nobody is immune from that. How do I deal with those times when I get into that state where everything seems really negative, nothing seems positive? That's when I still have power to watch the thoughts and say, no, I'm not believing what the mind says, because the mind makes you believe certain things and it creates a reality for you, which is false. That's what people don't see. It is constantly creating realities for us which are not real. And I suffer not because of the reality I'm facing outside, but because of the reality my mind has created for me inside. That is the trick. Everybody is suffering from the reality that is in their mind. It is called Jiva Shrishti in our scriptures. Very beautifully, our rishis have analyzed this, Jiva Shrishti, which means my own mental creations, my own mental projections. And it is not really what is happening in reality. So this is what I have to keep challenging. Before I get into that mechanical groove of negative thinking, depression, the willpower, the buddhi, the intellect. That's why Vedanta helps you, intellect to kick in. The intellect should say, no, enough. I am not following you. And if the thought keeps recurring, what do? There are methods to deal with it. You distract your mind. We believe in, it's called TDS. One of the Swamis in our tradition, he said this beautiful acronym, TDS, Thought Displacement System. Thought displacement system means what? You change your thinking, you distract yourself, you go and do something, do another exercise, go out, watch a movie. You can do anything, but distract your mind from the mechanical nature.
Repetitive thinking. And the second one was the impulsive thought. When it is very difficult to avoid it, the impulsivity, isn't it?
Yeah, very difficult to avoid. That's why you have to be totally alert. Soon as the thought comes, you don't act. That is what Shastra says. As soon as the thought comes, you have to sift it through your intellect. Is it right? So it is like really, really alert living. It takes a lot of effort because, the habit is what? Thought comes and I immediately jump. So it is, and then afterwards, many of the times when I follow impulsive thinking, what happens? Regret. So yeah. Shastra says this, Shastra specifically said this to avoid regret, because I do not want to look back and say, oh, why did I do that? I should not have done that. Why put yourself, he's saying, why put yourself there in the first place? Think before you act. Even though it takes a lot of willpower, if you think before you act, then after thinking if your action is not successful, then it's your prarabdha. You cannot help it. But at least, you thought and you said, this could be the outcome. This could be the outcome. And if the outcome doesn't match what you planned, then it is your karma. We say you have to accept it. But at least you tried. You're peaceful inside because you didn't act impulsively. You acted deliberately because you thought, with the knowledge I have now, this is the best course of action to take.
Yeah, but there is not enough time to rationalize it, is it? If I can rationalize it, I won't act impulsively.
Yeah, that's why there's not enough time to rationalize, but we say make time to rationalize. What is so desperate you have to act immediately? Is there anything so pressing in life where you have to act impulsively? I don't think so.
No.
Unless it is somebody, like somebody dying, you know, collapsed on the, you know, somebody who has just collapsed, and then you go and you give, you know, resuscitation. That is, you know, immediate action, impulse, your instinct guides you there because you want to save their life. But there's not many situations I can think of, if you can think of, where you have to act impulsively. There's nothing that requires, there is always a space for rational thinking, always.
Hard work to achieve that.
Yeah, you can do it though.
You should,
Shastra doesn't say what is impossible. Even Arjuna said that. Arjuna said that to Krishna in the 6th chapter. Mind is like astiram, adridam. It is so wild. It is vayuriva dushkaram. It is like the wind. I cannot control it. I cannot manage it, Bhagavan. He tells Krishna. He's trying to get out of it. But Bhagavan is giving him lots of mind management techniques in 6th chapter. And he's saying, no, I cannot do it. It's like the wind. How am I meant to harness the wind? I cannot. And Bhagavan says, yes, I understand. It is difficult, but it's not impossible, Arjuna. He says, Vairagyena abhyasena grihyate. With objectivity, with practice. Practice is the key. Repetitive practice. You can definitely do it. Everything in life is won over with practice, including your own mind. So if you make an effort to practice, if you find the value in this value in your life, and you see, I need this value in my life, you will make all effort to gain it. And it is in your hands. Everyone has a will. It is up to you to use the will.